Alright, hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Wayman Gaming, and today I'm going to be on part 2 of my Dark Souls 2 playthrough slash walkthrough. So, like I said last episode, I'm going to be going for a Pyromancy build, and I think that this starting class will help a lot. So, um, these three ladies right here, these are the Fire Keepers. You'll pretty much understand who they are if you've played the first Dark Souls. And we're going to go ahead and head out and start this adventure. So these are bonfires. And Dark Souls 1, when you light a bonfire and you rested at it, you would respawn at that. It's the same thing here, except you don't actually have to rest at it to respawn at it. The difference between Dark Souls 1 and 2 is that in this game, you can travel between bonfires, which, I mean, I find to be better. I know a lot of people don't, but I like it so you don't have to run back and forth between all the places you go. So at bonfires, you can travel, like I said. You can attune your spells when you have some. I don't have any spells, so you can burn items. Like I said last episode, you can be burning your bonfire aesthetics. You can also burn human effigies, and I forgot what the powder was called. We'll be finding it soon. So you can also store items here. You can store, I think it's infinite space. So if you have something you don't really want, but you don't want to sell or just toss, then you can just put it in your item box and clear out your inventory. As you can see, we're at Things Betwixt right now, and the Firekeeper's dwelling is the bonfire location. As you can see on that bottom left little rectangle, at the bottom right of it, there is a number 1. That is saying that we are on New Game. If you put it in a bonfire aesthetic, which puts you on New Game Plus, the number will go up to 2. So that is how you know, I guess, what difficulty you're on in that area. Alright, so let's go ahead and start. So this beginning part, I won't be going through the tutorial just because I know how to play. If you don't know how to play, usually you can just go through these areas and they will teach you the basics. And I would really suggest it if you're a new player. It really does help. So I think one of them I do want to go through though is I think I do want to get up there just so I can show you guys where you can drop your smooth and silky stones and your petrified somethings. So I guess in this area we'll go ahead and look at these. So I think no matter what, if you're playing on your with the keyboard or with the controller, it's going to tell you RB is to attack. I think if you're playing with the mouse, I think it's just clicking. I think it's left clicking does a weak attack, which is a regular attack, which is RB, and then double clicking does your strong attack. So yeah, like it says, you click in the right stick to lock on. And so, yeah, as it said, there was RB to do a regular attack. What it hasn't said yet, it probably will say, is the right trigger is your strong attack. Okay, well, I guess we won't know what that one says. Strong attacks, it really depends on your weapon and if the strong attack is worth doing. With some weapons, you can have special attacks on your strong attack. Some of them are really cool, some of them aren't worth it. It all, like I said, it all depends on the weapon. This guy's right there, the hippo man. He's not very friendly. I would not recommend approaching him at such an early level. At the thing he's standing in front of is it's a coffin. In Dark Souls 1, you do go into a coffin and it teleports you to a new world. Just so you know, this does not teleport you to a new world. It took me a long time to figure it out because usually when I'd go there, I'd be hollowed, which makes you look like a zombie, and you can't really tell if your appearance has changed, especially if you have armor on. What it does is it changes your gender. So as you can see, I started off as a female. At any point in the game, I can go ahead and change into a male, and vice versa. If you start off as a male, you can change to a female whenever you want. I guess it's just a little thing they added. It just reminds me of when I played, I think it was Fable 2, and at some point in the game, it was like a bringing this dead lady back to life quest, and in one of the crypts, you can change. Like there's a potion of changing your gender. It's a little bit strange, but I mean, whatever. You know, if you if you ever want to change it, then they give you the opportunity to do so. Oops, took a little damage there. So yeah, I'm just gonna pick up some items through here. When I pick them up, I'll tell you what they do if they really are significant. That's a life gem. As you can see on the bottom left, I have life gems equipped right now. On the controller, if I go ahead and hit X, it will heal me. I'll go ahead and do that now. So it is a gradual heal, and while you're using it, here's the guys where you drop the smooth and silky stones, and they will give you items. The bigger the stone, the higher the reward. It's random drop chance, or yeah, it's a random drop chance, so you never know what you're gonna get. But like I was saying, when you use a life gem, it is kind of slow, or it makes you walk slower. But the higher adaptability you have, the faster I think you can walk, and the faster it's used. There's other healing items in the game. Some of them make you stop completely, and a lot of them you just walk. Oops, I see another one. That was an accident. So right here, this is Majula. This is the entrance to Majula. As you can already tell, just the lighting is so much different than Dark Souls 1. A lot of people hate it. You know, like my brother, he's like, "Oh my gosh, you know, this is so dumb. Like, why did they change it?" Because in the original trailer for Dark Souls 2, the lighting was so much different, and they were kind of making it so you had to use your torch. But now in this, I don't know. Again, it's all personal opinion. What I'm doing right here, you can get up on this part of the ledge. Oh man, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if it's worth doing it for me anyway. But if you are a mage, here we go. You're gonna want to go up here, and I think I don't know if it's this one. Yeah, right here. There's binoculars. So what you can do with these binoculars, you go ahead and equip them, and switch to them, and then you press the either light or heavy attack, it doesn't matter, and it will zoom in, and you can cast spells while doing this. So it's really helpful if someone's long range and you have a spell that is also a good range. So as we saw over there, we picked up Morning Star and a Sacred Cleric's chime, I think, and so those weapons are the starting weapons for, or the Cleric's Sacred Chime is the starting weapon for the Cleric. Morning Star is pretty good to start off with. I'm going to go ahead and use it actually. Take that off so I don't have a high equipment load. Start off with Iron Parma. It's an okay starting shield. Of course, there's always better ones. So let's go ahead and light this bonfire. Over here, this is the Emerald Herald. Let's go ahead and talk to her.
Are you the next monarch, or merely a pawn of fate, bearer of the curse? I will remain by your side till this frail hope shatters. Take this with you. May it ease your journey. Go on and see the king. He who made Drangleic what it once was. He who peered at the essence of the soul. King Vendrick.
Alright, so as it says, you may level up the power of the Emerald Herald, and I'm going to need more souls in this to level up. If you ever want to check how many souls you need to level up, you can just go ahead and press start, go over to this little head right here, and player status. So where it has that arrow, I think I can show you my mouse right here, this is telling you how many souls you need to level up. This is how many souls you have currently. So right here on this page, you can see pretty much all your stats, and it's a little bit overwhelming when you first start. But the farther you get into the game, the more you'll understand it. But here's all your stats. We don't really need to get into it right now, so we'll go ahead and just keep going. Here's a little secret over here. I know pretty much everyone who's played this game knows about it. It's not this one, by the way. That's not it. This is a life gem. I got another one good because I wasted one of them already. But right here, you can go and hit this rock, and a body will come up with an Estus flask shard. So what you can do is you go over to the Emerald Herald, and you tell her you have an Estus flask shard, and you upgrade your Estus flask. I think with the Estus flask shard upgrade, it gives you more uses for your Estus flask. So we're gonna go ahead and equip this. So right now it has one use, which is obviously not very helpful. So let's go ahead and talk to her.
So that hope.
Sorry, I skipped things that actually don't matter. Upgrade your Estus flask. It's free, so you don't have to spend souls on it. And there we go. So now we have it strengthened, and we have 2 uses now, which is really good. Well, I guess not really good, but it's good for the start of the game, I guess. So there's some people here you can interact with in the start of Majula. So here's the blacksmith.
Who are you? Oh, it doesn't matter. Just help me open this door. I packed my tools in here, seeing it was vacant, but now somebody's gone and locked the door.
So I don't really understand why it doesn't go through the windows, because they're obviously big enough. I guess he's just lazy. I don't know. You can go ahead. We can find the key in a little bit to open that back up. He reinforces your weapons and armor, shields, and he also repairs items, and he sells weapons and such. So here is the armor merchant. At least that's what I primarily buy from him. I think he also sells. I know he sells shields. I don't know about weapons, though.
Hello there. Welcome to my shop. I'm Morlin, and I sell armor. Oh, sorry. Please do have a look at my wares. I could really use the business. If you'd be so kind.
So he seems a little bit shaky at first. I guess he's just nervous. But yeah, he sells good armors. The thing with him is the more you buy from him, the better stuff he has unto a certain point. So if you spend a couple thousand, then he will upgrade his items to, I think the next ones he gets is like Elite Knight Armor, which is really good for the beginning of the game, but I don't think we're going to end up buying it or using it. Also with some bosses, he will sell their armor, which is really cool. It's usually pretty expensive, but some of it's worth it. We will see that later. So I just picked up a Titanite Shard. What a Titanite Shard does is on standard weapons, armor, and shields, it will upgrade them to +1, which will make it so that it'll either do more damage, increase resistances, armor, all that kind of stuff. So it's really worth getting it. The first, I think, 5 levels of upgrading your armor or weapons or anything like that is shards, and then it gets to different. It becomes different requirements to upgrade it. So we'll go in here and we'll go ahead and talk to this lady.
Oh, undead are we? And one without much time remaining. Just about ready to fall apart, I'd say. Not exactly the time to be chatting with a cat. Well, suit yourself. Oh yes, you may call me Shalqua. Enchanté. So, what did you want anyway? Ooh, you smell wonderful.
So what she does, she sells rings primarily. A lot of them I don't really buy. The only one I actually have, or the only two I've bought, are the Silver Cat ring and the Ring of Whispers. What the Silver Cat ring does reduces damage from falling. It reduces a lot, and at one point in the game you're going to need it, so that's why it's the most expensive one. Ring of Whispers, it's optional to get. Kill Voices of Foes is the description, and the only time I've actually used it was much later in the game. And I mean, again, it's optional. Easy to connect the players who chose same god. So I assume if you're in a similar covenant to other players, it makes it easier to connect. Red Eye Ring, easy to be detected by enemies. So if you want a tank, then they will go for you. It also makes one of your eyes red. It looks really cool. Ring of the Evil Lives are base chief from each defeated foe. There's honestly never buy this ring. You'll find it later. So, and then she just sells some random rares. What she does, if you're in a covenant, then you can go ahead and abandon it here. You can also look at your covenants and see how devoted you are to your covenants as well. Devotion depends on what you have offered in your covenant. So like some covenants will need, like the rat covenant needs rat tails, and then the dragon's covenant needs dragon scales and stuff like that. So yeah. So we'll go ahead and go up here. Up here, really there's nothing besides, I guess, this item. A homeward bone, we got 5 of them, so I'm glad we didn't start off with those. It would not have been worth it. Right here, this is Victor's Stone. This covenant is the Covenant of Champions. I think it raises the defense or the health of enemies permanently, and it's definitely a challenge to do. So what we are going to do is we're going to go ahead and go to the first area. The first area is going to be the Forest of Fallen Giants. It's definitely the first one I would recommend going to. You could go the other way, of course. It's a little bit more difficult. It's really not too bad, but this is definitely easier, and yeah, I definitely recommend this. So we'll go ahead and go through here. It's weird, I think this is probably one of the most interesting levels in the whole game. It definitely has things that other levels do not, or I guess I say levels, but areas that other areas do not have. So right here, you can go over there and walk down, but it's much easier to jump, fall off. I mean, you don't take any falling damage from that point. It's not high enough. So we've got a human effigy. So I think we have 2 now. Gonna pick up this item, another homeward bone. So we got 6 now. It would have been stupid to start off with homeward bones in the first place. So here we are, the Forest of Fallen Giants. So these people right off the bat, they are probably the weakest enemies, I think, in the game. See, what I'm doing there is a backstab. When you're at a certain, or you have to be pretty much directly behind them, and oops, can't pick that up yet. And it will do a different attacking animation, and it will start the backstab. For these guys, obviously, it'll just one-hit kill them. For other enemies, it won't kill them, but it will do a lot of damage, and I do recommend doing it when you can. Usually, you'd want to do it by circle strafing with shields, or you can just roll behind them if your adaptability lets you, or your equipment load as well. So that was just a quick little bonfire. Again, I didn't need it, but it was just in case I die, which is you should always assume you're gonna die. This game is very it can be very difficult at times. It's not what's sort of word? It's not very forgiving. So, like as you can see, I'm doing a good amount of damage to them, but if they actually hit me, some of their attacks could take out half my health in one attack, and they could just stun me, and just never let me out of a stun, and then I'd be dead. This guy's not actually dead; he's alive. So take him out. But yeah, I'd recommend obviously be as cheap as you can. I know some of you may not like that, but it's the truth. With this game, you want to be as relentless and cheap as you can. You want to live. You want to survive. This part gets a little tricky. There's a bunch of people up here. There's two right there walking. One right there in the middle who actually does not aggro you, so you don't have to really worry about him yet. One right there. There's an archer up there. And then there's going to be a guy over by that little smoky area who's laying down. If you approach near him, he will get up and aggro you. So I'm going to go ahead and take this guy out and try to roll away. I don't want to take too much damage. The guy with the bow is actually shooting at me right now. Let's see. Guess these guys do a lot. Maybe not too much damage, but they do enough, and I don't like it. Let's go ahead and take him out. Oh, okay, guess not. There we go. Usually I try to set it up so I hit multiple enemies with one strike, just so obviously it helps a lot. And usually at this point in the game with these weapons, you're gonna stun them when you hit them, so they can't retaliate too well. So there's gonna be, I think, 2 guys up here. Yeah, so take them out real quick. Throwing knife and infantry axe. Let's check out the infantry axe. Actually, I don't know if it's any better than what I have. No, it's not. So right here is the damage. This is you're currently equipped on the left side of all this, and then it'll be red if it's lower, and it'll be blue if it is higher than what you have equipped. And over down here is your equipment load. In this case, blue means it is lower, so it's better for you, or not in all cases, but it lowers your equipment load, so about 53.3, which is good. I want to stay below 70 for a good amount of time. Alright, so it's not better, it does 5 less damage, or I think 5, I wasn't really paying attention. All I know is that it was red, so it's always a sure sign. So let's go ahead and take this guy out. Probably take 2 hits. Yep. I don't recommend jumping off from here, like down there, because you'll lose a good amount of health at this point in the game with no no items, spells, or anything like or armor that reduces your falling damage. So we're gonna go ahead and go all the way back here. Climb down this ladder as well. So we're gonna go ahead and fight this Hyde Knight over here. These guys are pretty strong. I wouldn't recommend it if you're, or actually, you know what? Go ahead and do it. If you're in the beginning of the game, it doesn't really matter. Just go ahead and fight them. It's a good challenge. It'll get you used to the game a little bit more than these guys probably. So yeah, I would definitely recommend doing it. He also drops a good weapon, and which we'll see in just a second. Before I do that, let's go ahead and pick up all these items. I got a life gem, human effigy. Let's see what this is. Another life gem, and then I think there's one more item right over here. Here, right next to him. Broken straight sword, which I am already used, or I had, and it's not as good. So as you can see, he doesn't aggro you until you attack him. You can lock onto him, but oops, I messed that up. So let's go ahead. So sometimes for some reason he gets a little bit of a strange attack pattern. Yeah, he does like a little bit of weird stuff. Oh god, there you go. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to back off. Let's go ahead and try to heal. Let's get him to go ahead and use an attack so I have time to heal. There you go. Alright, so, yeah, see that kind of attack, I don't really understand that. I always thought it was kind of weird. So, okay. Oh. Tried to backstab him, that didn't really work too well, as you can see. It's a little bit tricky. Can I backstab him? I guess not. That's weird, I thought you could. No, I'm pretty sure you can backstab him. I'm just not hitting him correctly. So, I don't know if I want to backstab him or if I just want to do more powerful attacks and just try to take him out. So, let's go and do that. That's a little bit of stagger right there. Oops, I messed that up. Ooh, see, my adaptability is not very high, so even during my roll, I got hit. So, he's going to attack once. Usually, his attack pattern is a little bit off. Like, I can't really tell yet on how he's going to attack. There we go. Let's try not to get caught on anything like that again. Attack twice. Oh, I messed that up. Man. See, the attack I'm trying to use is the lunging. Oh god, the jumping lunge attack, which does the most damage, I think, in a single blow. So I think it's definitely worth doing whenever you can. When you're using a shield, you take reduced damage most of the time. Some shields completely take out the damage that they're doing. So, like right now, see, every time he attacks me, I'm losing health. But with certain shields, you can make it so they don't do any damage to you, which is what you really want. Alright, so we killed him. A little bit difficult. He's only Estus Flask uses. We'll go and pick up beside him. This is a Hide Knight sword. Usually they will drop pretty good weapons. Let's go ahead and check out the damage. So, so right here, oops, sorry. Where'd it go? There it is. So, it does 75 regular attack damage, which is 40 less than what I have. So, I guess that's not very good, as you can see. Oops. And then, sorry. Right here, this is electric damage. I'll go through these. This is magic damage, fire damage, electric damage, dark, poison, and bleeding. Bleeding, I wouldn't just really say is worth having, especially against NPCs, unless it's like throwing daggers, which are very fast to do. So, so I do 40 less base attack damage, but I do 50 plus, or I do plus 50 electric damage. So overall I'm losing 40 on this, but I'm gaining 50, so I'll have an overall difference of plus 10. So what I want to do is actually use this new Hide Knight sword. It's pretty good for a starting weapon. I'd recommend it definitely, especially if you're starting with a faith build. Yeah, it's definitely something I'd pick up if you can or want to. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode. I hope you guys have a great day and or night, and I will see you guys next time.